Part 68. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kge Now. Chapter 672. Len Ning chatted with Yang Jiang for a while. After Yang Gang handed over the goods of Space Jade to Len Ning, Yang Jiang took Lei Ting and Lei Ning to visit the quarry of Hea Base. It was also after following Yang Gang into the quarry that Len Ning discovered that the Hea Base was actually built at the entrance of the quarry. Walking less than 300 meters inside, you will find the entrance to the mine. Before the end of the world, Xinjiang City was a major jade-producing city, and Wei and Jade Town were the towns with the most jade mines in Xinjiang City. Yang Jiang introduced. This mine was discovered late, and it has only been less than a year and a half since quarrying officially started. It's a rare good mine with a large area. It took a long time to lay out the work, Yang Jiang said with a smile. At that time, there were no less than 2,000 people working in the mine, including miners, handymen, and support staff. What a pity. The end of the world is coming, some people turned into zombies, and the mine suddenly became chaotic. Had it not been for the decisive and extraordinary measures taken at that time, I am afraid that the Hea Base would not have been built. Recalling the tragic situation that happened at that time, Yang Jiang still feels a little uncomfortable. Many of those who died were his subordinates or familiar colleagues. In his dreams, he often dreamed of working together with everyone in the mine. How many people are there between you and the Jade Base now? Len Ning asked curiously. This jade mine is so big, how much jade will be produced if all of it is mined? If there is more jade, there will be more jade in space. There are still 927 people, Yang Jiang replied. There are only 530 people who worked in the mine with me before. Some of the rest are their family members, and some are refugees. Right now they rely on this mine to feed the more than 900 people in the base. Len Ning nodded. The population is not that small either. Is it in a state of shutdown now? Len Ning asked next. His eyes glanced at the equipment placed not far away that looked like it had not been used for a long time. Yes. But we can resume production at any time. The equipment and manpower are ready, Yang Jiang said. Then recover as soon as possible. Our Thunder Base will need as much as you produce. A sharp edge flashed in Len Ning's eyes. If the number of space jades can continue to increase, it will be no matter how much business the Leng family develops. Of course, the vegetable base can also be expanded, and at the same time, the Human Resources Department must recruit more wood-type superpowers. Haha, that's easy to say, Yang Jiang said with a smile. However, you still have to inform us in advance when placing an order. The noise of dissolving stones is very loud, so we have to control the amount of dissolving stones every day, Yang Jiang continued. Len Ning was stunned. Please follow me, Yang Jiang continued to lead the way. Yeah, Len Ning hurriedly followed. This is the stone breaking factory. There are a total of 15 workshops, all of which are equipped with stone breaking machines, Yang Jiang said, and opened the door of a factory. Because the noise is too high, for the sake of base safety, we now only operate up to 5 machines a day, and if we find something is not right, we can suspend it at any time. Len Ning and Lei Lei followed the door and soon saw the large cutting equipment inside. Although the machine is not running now, Len Ning can imagine the harsh sound it will make after it is started. She had seen this kind of machine on TV before the end of the world. It used electricity to quickly rotate a large disc blade to cut stone. It's a head-on collision and the noise produced is very loud. Even before the end of the world, stone processing plants equipped with such equipment could only be located in the suburbs to avoid disturbing residents. Looking around the inside of the factory, Len Ning found that there were a lot of sound insulation settings in the factory. It's just that these soundproofing facilities are too crude and the effect may not be ideal. In a situation like the Hea Base, it is not an exaggeration to say that they are risking their lives to make money. After all, this place is not far from Hea Town. Although this base is hidden in the mountains, the noise is bound to spread out. Once the noise is noticed by zombies, it is very likely to attract a large number of zombies. Mr. Yang, are you interested in selling the raw stones directly to us? Len Ning thought for a while and asked. Of course, we also want these stone-breaking equipment and processing and carving masters. Len Ning looked at Yang Qiang. It is indeed easy to attract zombies by opening the machine here, but it is different in Kongtown. The area of Kongtown is large enough. Even if the noise of the solution stone is loud, it is enough to be consumed within the scope of Kongtown. The zombies outside cannot hear the sounds in Kongtown at all. And even if she is heard, Kong Zhen is not afraid of the zombie wave. After all, her fifth branch is stationed in Kong Zhen. Anyway, there is space jade, so transporting goods will not be a problem. As long as there are enough jade in space, it is not difficult to transport jade wool back to City A. What do you mean? Yang Qiang's tone was filled with excitement. Is that what he thought? Hall Master Len wants to take some people from Hea Base away? Len Ning looked at Yang Qiang and said, it is too risky to operate a machine to decompose stone. I want to hire your people to bring the decomposition equipment to our Thunder Base to operate. By then, you can be directly responsible for mining the rough stones. If you are interested, Mr. Yang, we can talk. Or we can work together to develop the jade mine. Len Ning's eyes flashed, and he suddenly had some other ideas. How to cooperate? Yang Qiang asked. I couldn't tell what was going on in his mind. You are responsible for mining raw stone materials and sending skilled workers to the Thunder Base to carry out equipment to decompose, process and carve the jade. We are responsible for exporting the finished space jade you produce. Of course, we will also purchase large quantities of your space jade ourselves. Yang Qiang looked calm. In order to ensure the safety of Hea Base, I can also send people to protect it. To prevent you from insufficient defensive strength due to the migration of workers. Yang Qiang still didn't respond. We can discuss this slowly as to whether the cooperation method is to take a commission from sales or let Len be your agent. Len Ning continued. Haha, it's a good thing. But let me think about it. Yang Qiang stretched out his hand to stop Len Ning from continuing. Of course he was moved by what Len Ning said. But after all, they had just met each other, so these things couldn't be rushed. At the moment, he still has a lot of inventory on hand, and he won't need to open the stone-breaking machine in the short term. When Yang Gang comes back from visiting the Thunder Base, he will sell all the goods in his hand, and it will not be too late to discuss this matter. Len Ning's face froze slightly, and he gave up his desire to continue talking. That's right. We have to give you some time to get to know our Thunder Base, right? Then he said with a smile. Young Master Lei and Hall Master Leng can also get to know us better. Let's get to know each other slowly. Yang Qiang also smiled at the two of them. Haha, of course. Len Ning agreed with a smile. Next, continue to follow Yang Qiang and visit the entire process of jade from raw material to processing into finished jewelry. Although it is said to be a tour process, there are actually no people in most parts of the process. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 673. They just followed Yang Qiang and listened to his introduction and explanation. Looking along the way, there are only people present during the carving process. These people followed the closed space formed inside the large jade stone and disassembled the large jade stone into independent small space jade stones. Then simply process the jade stones in small spaces to turn them into accessories suitable for wearing. Looking at the exquisite carving techniques of the workers, Len Ning's eyes were filled with wonder. This is just the simplest carving process. If it were before the end of the world, a beautiful jade article would take at least 3 days from design to polishing and carving. Now is the end of the world, and people's pursuit of these jade articles no longer lies in it. Of ornamental value. Therefore, they only need to simply process the cut jade, and the process is not complicated. That's it, it's already very beautiful, Len Ning said. This is also what she thinks. Perhaps because she was an outsider, she really felt that the hands of these craftsmen had the power to turn decay into something magical. Haha. Hall Master Leng said it's good, so it's good, Yang Qiang said with a smile. They and the carving masters at the Jade Base are all experienced masters, with superb skills and fast speed, which is really good. We also produce a small amount of finely processed space jade. If Hall Master Leng is interested, I will send a batch to you later. Although the main attribute of jade is as a transportation tool, it is also naturally decorated. Ornamental properties. A delicate piece of jade is an excellent choice for gifting, especially to someone you cherish. Therefore, there is a market for exquisite space jade, but the market is far less big than ordinary space jade. Okay. Just enough to pick one for our mother, Len Ning said and looked at Lei Lei. Lei Lei smiled fondly. Okay. Yang Qiang was slightly shocked when he heard Lei Ting speak. I thought that Mr. Lei was cold-faced towards everyone, but he was really completely different towards his wife. Next, Yang Qiang took the two of them to visit the living area of Hea Base. Only then did Len Ning realize that the Hea Base was indeed very small. The people here were not only workers but also on guard duty. At this time, she felt a little more at ease, thinking that sooner or later Yang Qiang would agree to her sending someone to help them guard the base. Otherwise, with only a few of them working in the mines, it would be difficult to provide a comprehensive defense. Also, the equipment and workers at Hea Base will go to their Thunder Base sooner or later. In the evening, Yang Qiang warmly entertained Len Ning and Lei Lei at home. The ingredients and drinks used were basically those given to him by Len Ning. Eating meat and drinking wine, Yang Qiang and Yang Gang felt the beautiful taste of life at the same time. After the meal, Yang Qiang chatted with Len Ning and Lei Lei for a while. When the two directors of the munitions department and the finance department came to see him, they stood up and said goodbye to them, asking Yang Gang to stay with them. Yang Gang didn't dare to look at Lei Ting at all, and was a little embarrassed about Len Ning, so he didn't dare to take the initiative to talk to Len Ning. Although he had begged Hall Master Leng's forgiveness in front of his uncle before, he was indeed rude to others before, and he still felt a little guilty in his heart. I heard from Mr. Yang that you were a sophomore in high school before the end of the world, Len Ning spoke first. Yeah, Yang Gang replied. I'm a senior in high school, Len Ning said with a smile. Yang Gang was stunned. How old are you? He asked subconsciously. But it felt inappropriate to ask for an exit. I'm already over 18, Len Ning said with a smile. I will be 18 before the end of the world, Yang Gang muttered. She thought he was probably older than her. A high school and university will be built behind the Thunder Base. If you are interested, you can learn more about it this time. Yang Gang was stunned. Build a school? The tone was a bit incredulous. It's the end of the world, can we still go to school? Yes. Kindergartens, primary schools, and junior high schools will be built first. Then high schools and universities will be built according to the situation. Len Ning looked at Yang Gang and said, talent is the driving force for the development of the safety zone. The earlier the schools are arranged, the better. A flash of excitement flashed in Yang Gang's eyes. What are the requirements? He didn't really want to go back to school, but he was thinking about whether he and other children of appropriate age in Hea Base could take this opportunity to live in Thunder Base. Can they and the Jade Base slowly move closer to the Thunder Base, and eventually everyone will move away from here? It depends on the Ministry of Education. Len Ning did not give an answer. However, she thought that according to Yang Gang's physical condition, he should be able to pass the exam. Oh, Yang Gang responded disappointedly. Does your Thunder Base really have a population of more than 50,000? With Len Ning taking the initiative to talk to him just now, Yang Gang was no longer so afraid and asked Len Ning. Currently, the number has exceeded 60,000. The major bases in Cydia have been merged into the safety zone, and the total number of people registered in the household registration has exceeded 60,000. Len Ning said with a smile, The promotional video has not been modified yet. Yang Gang's eyes widened. 60,000 people, darling, no wonder we can build a safe zone. I heard that you are hosting foreign bases. The more he thought about it, the more excited he became. Yang Gang tried to control his emotions and asked Len Ning. Len Ning smiled and didn't answer. In the video, I saw what you said. Yang Gang looked a little anxious. I did accept it before, Len Ning said. Then you won't accept it now. Yang Gang felt as if his heart was being lifted up. No more. But we accept immigrants. What is immigration? Yang Gang frowned. Selling household registration, Len Ning said with a smile, answering Yang Gang's words in the simplest 3 words. These 3 words don't sound very nice literally, but Len Ning looked calm when he spoke, without any discomfort at all. How to sell it? Yang Gang asked cautiously. Len Ning glanced at Yang Gang and said, we haven't decided yet, but the price is definitely not cheap, he said with a smile. This probing look made Yang Gang quickly avert his eyes. Haha, the Thunder base is so good. Even if it is more expensive, there are probably many people who are willing to immigrate, Yang Gang complimented. I'd like to lend you some good words. Len Ning glanced at Yang Gang again with a hint of meaning, and then looked away from Yang Gang. If she was still guessing before, now she is certain. This Hea base will definitely become their safe zone. Master Len, I just heard you say that you now have 70 helicopters, Yang Gang asked Len Ning again when he thought of something. 70 helicopters, excluding the pilot, can seat 3 to 4 people on each helicopter. Squeeze in, count as 4 people. If all helicopters are dispatched, 280 people can be picked up at one time. In addition to the 3 helicopters they own, the number can be increased. It only takes 3 or 4 flights for them and everyone at Jade Base to migrate. That's right. The helicopter order has been placed to AFEI Base, and all the helicopters will be available within a week at the latest, Len Ning continued. Depending on the situation in the future, we will probably have to add a batch of helicopter orders. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 674. It has been so long since the end of the world, and the ground has collapsed in many places, making it difficult for ordinary cars to pass on the road. Cars can basically only run within the base and the built safety zone. When going out, military trucks and off-road vehicles are generally used. In the future, helicopters will be used in more and more places. Helicopters are not cheap, Yang Gang couldn't help but admired. Between them and the 3 helicopters at the Jade base, they spent a total of almost 30,000 space jade. It was through a relationship that I bought it after a lot of effort. Fortunately, AFEI Base has reached a cooperation with us, and the price given to us is considered preferential, Len Ning said with a smile. Do you know where the AFEI Base is? Yang Gang's eyes were shocked. They also bought their helicopter from AFEI Base, but they did not negotiate with AFEI Base directly, but found an intermediary, who was also the customer who bought goods from them before. They don't know exactly how much difference the middleman makes from them. When you can't find the AFEI Base, it is inevitable to be made money by others with poor information. At the same time, you have to feel lucky. After all, not everyone has the ability to buy a helicopter for them. Yeah, Len Ning nodded. AFEI Base also exchanges goods with us, and will cooperate with us for a long time in the future, Len Ning continued. With them as our agent, the shipment volume should be relatively large. We should have more and more dealers in the future. Speaking of this, Len Ning's eyes were full of meaning. How could Yang Gang not understand? The Thunder base has a large plate and the products provided are of high quality and low price. Some powerful bases can definitely detect their location quickly, especially through the AFEI base. The AFEI bases travel to and from large bases. These large bases must have helicopters, and they usually make money by taking advantage of the information gap. As smart as they are, if the volume of goods is large, they will definitely go to the superior of AFEI base, the factory-level Thunder base. Taking advantage of the early stage, AFEI base should be able to make a lot of money. But in the later stage, most of AFEI's customers will go directly to Thunder base for cooperation. But what's the point? Even if you just make money by changing hands in the early stage, I'm afraid it will be enough to make a flying base. You can make a lot of money with just one move, and you don't need to put in much labor. At the same time, you don't compete with the main business of the base, so why not do it? Thinking of this, Yang Gang really envied AFEI base, and at the same time he envied Thunder base even more. They and Jade base do not have such strength and ability. But now her thigh is in front of you, and you would be a fool not to hug it. This time when he goes to the Thunder base, he must conduct a thorough investigation and look for the most appropriate and suitable cooperation opportunities with the Thunder base. Len Ning looked at Yang Gang's pensive look and raised the corners of his lips slightly. I'm also curious about some questions. Master Len, tell me. Yang Gang came to his senses and said to Len Ning. Our helicopter landed in the town before and found that there were too many zombies in Hao Town. Len Ning glanced at Lei Lei as he spoke. If it were just a town, there would be too many zombies. Then he asked Yang Gang. Yang Gang looked at Lei Lei and Len Ning. You two have never been to Haojian before, so you may not understand the situation. Xianjiang City is one of the largest jade-producing areas in China at the end of the world. Although Xinjiang City is large in area, jade mines are concentrated. Almost 60% of the jade mines are concentrated in Us and Jade Town. Before the end of the world, Hao Town developed its economy around this jade industry. People from all over China, and even some foreign friends, flock to Hao Town in large numbers every day. Coupled with the developed tourism industry, the number of people gathering in Hao Town is unimaginable. This is why they want to escape from here. With so many zombies hovering nearby, they are in danger of being destroyed at any time. It's amazing that you managed to escape from Haojian. Yang Gang looked at Len Ning and Lei Ting with a bit more admiration. He guessed that the two of them must be superpowers, but the zombies in their city were special and could restrict the release of superpowers. It's really not easy for them to escape from such a dangerous place. Len Ning glanced at Lei Ting. If I hadn't prepared enough arms and ammunition, I wouldn't have been able to get out of there. Then he said to Yang Gang. At this time, Lei Lei suddenly sat up, took out 2 black crystal cores from the space ring and placed them on the coffee table next to him. What's the situation with this crystal nucleus? Then he asked. Yang Gang was startled. Subconsciously, I was shocked by Thunder's momentum. Len Ning also looked at Yang Gang. The Hao base has been here since the end of the world, and maybe it has some understanding of zombies with black crystal cores. Seeing Lei Lei and Len Ning both looking at him, Yang Gang looked complicated. After a while, he said, you should have discovered. Zombies with black crystal cores can interfere with the release of mental power by superpowers, thereby affecting the use of superpowers. Yang Gang frowned. This information was told to them by their previous guests. They and everyone in the Jade base have no superpowers. In fact, they don't know that those zombies have this ability. Len Ning nodded, signaling Yang Gang to continue. Actually, this kind of zombies don't just have this ability. Their hearing and vision are also sharper than other zombies, and they even have some intelligence. We hide in the mountains and basically don't go out just to avoid this kind of zombies, because once we are attacked by this kind of zombies, a zombie realizes that it is very likely to find its way to the base. Are they there early on, or were they mutated later? What effect does this black crystal core have on superpowers? Len Ning continued to ask. We don't know if this kind of zombies existed early on. We only know that the number of this kind of zombies was not so large at the beginning. Later, we found that their proportion has been on the rise. People in the base are suspecting that the black crystal core is the state of zombies after they evolve. It is also for this reason that they are more eager to move away from here. Otherwise, the zombies will become more and more keen and smart, and sooner or later they will be unable to hide. As for the black crystal core, the current research result is that its existence will affect the release of mental power by the superpower. If the superpower forcibly absorbs the black crystal core, the original superpower may be abolished. This information was also reported by them before guests told them. Len Ning's heart trembled. This kind of zombie is completely born to restrain human superpowers. Does the black crystal core have any effect on ordinary people? Len Ning asked next. There was fear in Yang Gang's eyes. Ordinary people are likely to turn into zombies if they are exposed to black crystal cores for a long time. This is why every time they kill a zombie, they dig out the zombie crystal cores and separate the black crystal cores. The reason why it is stored in space jade. Space jade can isolate the virus produced by zombies and prevent people in the base from being infected. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 675. Len Ning was shocked again. This black crystal core is really evil. The zombies here don't seem to have special powers. This was another part of her confusion. But this was a good thing. If those zombies had special powers at that time, it would be difficult for her and Lei Lei to escape. Yang Gang's eyes fluctuated slightly. Yet, none of the zombies in Yuzhen have awakened their powers. As for other places, he didn't know. Len Ning withdrew his gaze from Yang Gang and looked at Lei Ting beside him. Lei Lei put the black crystal core back into the space ring, his expression a little solemn. Now he basically concluded that there are no zombies with supernatural powers in Heojhan. The way zombies here evolve is from ordinary zombies to black crystal core zombies. Zombies with black crystal cores are more flexible and smarter than ordinary zombies, and can even influence and block people with powers from releasing their powers. What he is worried about now is that both black zombies and black crystal cores are contagious. Ordinary humans and ordinary zombies will be infected by the virus and become zombies or evolve into zombies with black crystal cores. Does this black crystal core contain a zombie virus, a different version of the zombie virus from other places? If the zombies in Heo Town spread out and infect zombies in other places, will there be zombies with special powers and whose crystal core turns black? If something like this happens, it will be more difficult for humans to survive on Blue Star. Previously, he thought that as long as the safety zone was established, Cydia would be freed from this catastrophe, and there would be no existential threat in the future. But now he's not sure. Haha, do you have black crystal cores in your hands? Can you give me some and let us take them back to the Thunder base for study? Len Ning said to Yang Gang. Yang Gang was stunned. Looking at Lei Lei and Len Ning, they looked struggling. I'm afraid it won't work. All the black crystal cores in our base have been sealed up. This is for fear that someone will become a zombie due to contact with the black crystal cores. Yang Gang felt a little regretful at this moment, feeling that he should not have told Lei Lei and Len Ning so many secrets about the black crystal core. Especially about the black crystal core that can induce ordinary people to become zombies. Judging from their appearance, they will definitely study the black crystal core. If zombies with black crystal cores are taken to City A and infect the zombies in City A, then the zombies in City A will become like them and Yuzhen, and there will be no safety there. Also, if they knew that everyone in Heo base was ordinary people, would they still be willing to accept people like them who might have been infected by the black crystal core virus? Yeah, Len Ning said yeah to Yang Gang. Looking at Yang Gang's attitude, there was no way they could get the black crystal core from him. But it doesn't matter if you can't get it. There were a lot of zombies wandering outside. They went to a place near Heo Town and quickly collected enough samples. Since they decided to cooperate with the Heo base, they must do some research on the black crystal core. If you can find black crystal nuclei, they are most beneficial to people. If you can't find them, you have to find out the situation as soon as possible to understand their specific harm to people so that you can take good protection. Len Ning then asked Yang Gang some other things about Heo base. Since there were no secrets involved, Yang Gang told Lei Ting and Len Ning everything. After talking and laughing for more than an hour, Yang Qiang finally came back. Also brought was a plate of beautifully carved jade ornaments. These are finely carved space jade ornaments sent by the people below. Hall Master Len, please pick a few pieces to take back. It is a token of appreciation from us and the jade base, Yang Qiang said, placing the plate in front of Len Ning. On the coffee table. Len Ning's eyes lit up. Thank you, Mr. Yang. Then started picking from the plate. These jade articles were exquisitely carved and each piece was of high quality, which made Len Ning a little dazzled. But Len Ning didn't take long to choose, and quickly selected an exquisite jade ring. I tried it on myself and found it was the right size. That's it. Then he took off the jade ring. Mom has slender bones and her fingers are about the same thickness as hers. If she can wear a jade ring, her mother can wear it. The corners of Lei Lei's lips raised, knowing that Len Ning had chosen this jade ring for his mother. There are still many more. Hall Master Len, please choose a few more, Yang Qiang said to Len Ning with a smile. Choose just one? It doesn't seem like they and jade base are too stingy. Choose for my mother, one is enough. If necessary, I will place an order with you later, Len Ning said with a smile. She is short of space for jade, but one or two more won't make her rich. Paying too much attention to these things will give people a bad idea of being careless and greedy for money. Haha, okay then, Yang Qiang smiled and put away the plate. Then he returned to his seat and sat down. We have already made the purchase list. After arriving at the Thunder base, they will place an order with the Leng family and check it, Yang Qiang said to Len Ning. What I mean is, let them stay at the Thunder base for a few days, waiting for the goods to be delivered. Return with your people when everything is complete, you see. No problem, Len Ning agreed readily. However, the production pressure for popular goods is currently relatively high. If you want more, I'm afraid it will take a lot of time. After all, the vegetable base is still rushing to deliver goods to AFI base. Haha, it's okay. We can just take a tour of your Thunder base, Yang Qiang said with a smile. They mainly selected guns, ammunition, and food for this batch of goods. Because guns and ammunition are much more expensive than food, the supply of food is very low. It's not that he doesn't want to buy more food. On the contrary, he is actually eager to buy more food. The threat from zombies is really too great here, and they are in urgent need of a large amount of military supplies. The batch of goods Hall Master Len gave him today were all grains and food supplies. They wouldn't worry about going hungry in a short time. For the remaining orders, arms should be prioritized. Watching the video, it was said that the Thunder Military Department also sells arms to external parties. They went to the Thunder base. They could also find an opportunity to inquire about it and see how much the Leng's price differed from that of the military department. However, these two people were a couple, and Leng's sales volume was so large, he estimated that even if they went to the Thunder military headquarters directly, it wouldn't be much cheaper. In short, let Yang Gang and others take care of this matter. If the price difference is not big, you can pick up the goods directly from Leng's. If the price difference is big, you can flexibly adjust the quantity of each item you order. Use the extra space jade you brought to buy arms from Thunder military headquarters. Yes, he is going to give them an additional 10,000 space jade weapons to carry with them. If you find something good, then you can buy it back. Anyway, while they were gone for a few days, everyone in the base was busy enough to process 10,000 space jades. When they come back with the goods, there will be enough 50,000 space jades in the base to deliver to the Leng family. This is natural, Len Ning responded with a smile. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 676. The few of them chatted for a while before giving up. After breakfast the next day, Yang Gang came with two young men who were older than him. "Let them us and the Jade Base to visit your thunder," Yang Jiang said with a smile. Len Ning's eyes swept across the faces of the three people. "Okay. But can you please wait for us for a while?" Len Ning said. Yang Jiang looked stunned for a moment, then became confused. "We are going to Hao Town to kill some zombies and bring them back," Len Ning said directly. Everyone in the room and at the Jade Base turned pale at the same time. Master Len. Yang Jiang's voice was filled with coldness. Len Ning stretched out his hand to stop Yang Jiang from continuing to speak. "We must find out about the black crystal core. Mr. Yang, please rest assured. Since we were able to escape from Hao Town before, we will be fine if we go to the outskirts of the town this time." Yang Jiang frowned. "Please wait for us for an hour. We will set off again after an hour." Len Ning had already turned around and said to Yang Gang and the other three. The expressions of the three of them were also quite complicated, but they did not dare to speak to Len Ning. Len Ning and Lei Lei looked at each other and were about to leave. "Master Lei, Hall Master Len, please stay." Yang Jiang's voice finally came from behind. The two stopped. "Don't go, I have the black crystal core here. I will also tell you about the black crystal core," Yang Jiang finally said. Yang Gang and the other three immediately looked at Yang Jiang. Yang Jiang's eyes were complicated and he sighed. At this time, Len Ning and Lei Lei had also turned back and looked at him. "Zombies with black crystal cores are too dangerous. You'd better not take risks. I'll give you the crystal core," Yang Jiang said, taking out a space jade from the space ring. "All the black crystal cores we and the Jade Base have are here, take them if you want." Then he handed the space jade to Len Ning. Len Ning was stunned and reached out to take the space jade. Sure enough, I immediately saw a lot of black crystal nuclei inside. Seeing Len Ning looking at him, Yang Jiang said, "It is also a disaster to keep this thing, and there is no way to destroy it. I can only store them all in the space jade." "What's the secret of this black crystal core?" Len Ning frowned and looked at Yang Jiang. "This thing is inhumane. Not only can it influence people with superpowers to use their superpowers, it can also infect zombies and humans. After you take it back, don't do experiments on people. Ordinary people only need to be exposed to the black crystal core for more than 3 hours. It may become a zombie, we have confirmed it before," Yang Jiang said. This is a lesson they learned after countless deaths. Len Ning's heart trembled. "Is this thing so powerful?" "Don't worry, our Thunder Base respects human rights and will not use human lives for testing and research," Len Ning said. After hearing what Len Ning said, Yang Jiang looked much friendlier to her. Zombies with black crystal cores not only have stronger vision and hearing than ordinary zombies, but are also smarter than ordinary zombies. They also have extremely strong virus infection capabilities," Yang Jiang continued. "Whether you are an ordinary person or a person with special powers, as long as you are scratched and bitten by such a zombie and get a scratch, you will be infected by the zombie virus immediately. The disease will occur within 5 minutes at the latest, and there is no cure." Len Ning frowned. "So powerful, I didn't believe it in my heart. The zombies in Cydia are low-level zombie viruses that cannot infect high-level superpowers. Even if a low-level superpower is infected, as long as they take medicine to slow down their condition and then a high-level healing superpower takes action, there is still hope for recovery. But this is an exaggeration that the infection can occur as soon as you bite it, the disease will occur within 5 minutes, and there is no cure." Yang Jiang nodded solemnly. "There were many third-level superpowers who came to our base to pick up goods before. More than one of them was infected and died," Yang Jiang said. "Therefore, this kind of zombie virus is probably really irresistible, no matter whether the opponent is a superpower or not, or how high the superpower level is. This is also the reason why the bases that cooperated with them stopped coming. Because if an accident occurs, they will have supplies delivered but cannot pick them up. He really values the Thunder base and doesn't want to make just this one deal with the Thunder base. At least Yang Gang and the others must be asked to follow them to the Thunder base to pick up the large batch of goods. Healing system, Len Ning asked immediately. Yang Jiang waved his hand and interrupted Len Ning directly. A base has brought healing power users here before, but it didn't work. No matter how strong the power user is, the zombie virus is indestructible and cannot be cured. A chill suddenly flashed through Len Ning's heart. I thought to myself that yesterday, Lei and I really walked past the gate of hell. So, for your safety, He Yuzhen cannot go, Yang Jiang said seriously. It's useless for us to keep these black crystal cores. If you want them, go ahead and study them. Just be sure to pay attention to safety to prevent Cydia from becoming the next Heo town. Len Ning suddenly felt that the space jade in his hand was heavier. Don't worry, we got it. Then he calmed down and put the space jade into his own space ring. Let's set off now. Then he turned and looked at Yang Gang and the other three. Only then did the three of them come to their senses. In order to avoid being discovered by zombies, helicopters have to take off and land on the hill next door. There is an open area on the top of the mountain suitable for helicopters to take off and land, Yang Gang said. Len Ning looked back at Yang Jiang. Yang Jiang nodded helplessly, a little apologetic for not telling Len Ning about this before. The black crystal core zombies are too sensitive, and there is nothing that can be done about it. Okay, Len Ning said. Yang Jiang cupped his fists at him with a slightly surprised expression. Farewell, he said, turned, and left. Lei glanced at Yang Jiang, nodded to him, and followed Len Ning. Chief, let's go then, Yang Gang also said to Yang Jiang. Take the two of them to chase Thunder and Len Ning. After walking along a trail for a while, the group left Heo base and arrived at the road. To avoid attracting attention, get in our car, Len Ning said, and took out a pickup truck from the space ring. Yang Gang and others looked at each other and nodded in agreement. We were sitting in the back of the carriage and found that the zombies were easy to clean up. As he spoke, Yang Gang had already taken out the gun from his space ring. The other two also performed the same operation. Len Ning raised the corner of his mouth. He was quite prepared. You two sit in the front and drive, while Lei Ting and Yang Gang will ride in the back together. Who knew, Len Ning actually said. The top of the mountain next door looks close to here, but in fact it is quite a long way there. When they arrived, they discovered that there were many side roads in the area. They didn't know the roads and it was inconvenient to drive. The two people led by Yang Gang immediately looked at Yang Gang. Okay, just do as Hall Master Leng said, Yang Gang said immediately. Then everyone got in the car and headed down the mountain. Just as they drove down the mountain, the three people in the back carriage saw a dozen zombies wandering over. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 677. Len Ning saw Yang Gang raised his gun and aimed at the zombie at the front. Then he pulled the trigger, and the zombie fell down. Just when Yang Gang was about to fire his second shot, Len Ning had fired both guns simultaneously, killing 6 zombies in a row within 5 seconds. Yang Gang was shocked and was looking at Len Ning in surprise. In just a short time, she killed all the remaining zombies. Yang Gang gave Len Ning a thumbs up in a daze. Strong, he said with sincere admiration. It seems that there is no need to aim, both guns are fired simultaneously, and the guns hit the target. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is a sharpshooter. It's strange to say that she could escape from Heochen with Mr. Lei. With such shooting skills, escaping is probably not difficult. It's okay, Len Ning replied cheerfully. Then he looked at the expressionless Lei sitting next to him. The corners of Lei's lips raised slightly, with a hint of endearment in his smile. Yang Gang felt some goosebumps on his body and quickly moved his head away. These two couples stimulated him, a single man, on the spot. Along the way, the group encountered several waves of zombies one after another. But before the car passed, all the zombies were shot dead by Len Ning and Yang Gang. Before Lei Lei could take action, the group arrived at the foot of the mountain they were going to climb. Just as they predicted, there were a lot of zombies gathered at the foot of the mountain. When the zombies saw a car coming, they all ran towards the car excitedly. Len Ning and Yang Gang had already started shooting at the zombies. But there were too many zombies to handle. At this time, thunder finally moved. I saw that like Len Ning, he fired both guns and hit the target. At the same time, the person sitting in the passenger seat also leaned out and fired at the zombies that were rushing over. With the addition of thunder, zombies fall much faster. But there were too many zombies to stop him, and the pickup truck eventually encountered a wave of zombies. Len Ning and Lei Lei responded calmly, shooting the zombies that tried to get closer. He just didn't let a zombie hit the pickup truck. At the same time, the driver forced his way past the zombies blocking the road and headed towards the intersection up the mountain. 5 minutes later, the pickup truck finally broke through the siege of zombies, leaving the zombies chasing them behind. Yang Gang's face turned red, and his forehead and face were already covered with sweat. After making sure that the zombies couldn't catch up with the pickup truck, he finally sat down tiredly. Len Ning put down his guns and glanced at Yang Gang with a smile. It won't work in just a short while. Or am I not a superpower? Yang Gang was stiff for a moment, but it was only for a moment before his expression calmed down. Seeing that Yang Gang ignored him, Len Ning raised the corner of his mouth, took out a bottle of San Miguel pills from the space ring and threw it to him. Take 2 pills and your strength will be restored immediately, then he said. Yang Gang was stunned. After looking at Len Ning, he picked up the medicine bottle in his hand. Then he unscrewed the medicine bottle, took 2 pills, put them in his mouth and swallowed them. Something magical happened. His extremely tired body seemed to be instantly injected with energy, and his tired limbs also regained their strength. What kind of medicine is this? Yang Gang immediately asked Len Ning. At this moment, Len Ning had already picked up his 2 guns and continued to shoot the corpses on the road without looking at him at all. Our Leng's specialty Songali pills are as effective as its name. If you think it's useful, you can buy some and bring them back, Len Ning said while killing zombies. Okay, Yang Gang responded quickly. Of course I have to buy such good things, and buy more. The car continued to drive and finally reached the top of the mountain. The situation here is actually not much better than at the foot of the mountain. The open area Yang Gang mentioned before is indeed very open, but this area is almost full of zombies. Len Ning and Lei Lei responded calmly. They jumped out of the back of the pickup truck and turned their backs to each other to kill the zombies that tried to get closer. Seeing that Yang Gang was about to follow them out of the car, Len Ning quickly raised his voice and said, "You guys stay in the car and be careful not to let the zombies bite you. It was safer in the car than down below." These 3 young men were not good at fighting. It would be dangerous to follow them to fight rashly. There are only more than 300 zombies here in total, and she and Lei Lei can deal with them. A flash of struggle flashed across Yang Gang's face, showing the shooting skills and shooting speed of Lei Lei and Len Ning, and he immediately chose to cooperate. "Please be safe," he then said. We haven't paid much attention to zombies yet," Len Ning chuckled. "Watch the opportunity, and remember to take out your helicopter early. Otherwise, zombies will chase you from the bottom of the mountain, and then you will be in real trouble." Okay, Yang Gang clenched his pistol and increased the speed of shooting zombies. Soon, the surrounding zombies continued to fall, and bodies were piled around Len Ning and Lei Lei. After there were no zombies within 20 meters of the 2 of them, and only a few dozen zombies were left around, Lei Lei was relieved to hand over the remaining zombies to Len Ning, and went to an open space not far away to get the helicopter. At the same time, the three people at Heo base had put away Len Ning's pickup truck and taken out their helicopter. When Len Ning got rid of the last zombie that bared its teeth and claws at her, and stepped on the corpse to the helicopter, a large group of zombies emerged from the end of the road. Len Ning's expression changed. He didn't dare to waste time and hurriedly accelerated towards Thunder's helicopter. At the same time, the three people at Heo base also discovered the situation. The pilot immediately started the helicopter. The rotation of the propeller makes a huge noise, instantly attracting all nearby zombies. The zombies were restless and began to run quickly towards the direction of the helicopter. Len Ning retreated while shooting the chasing zombies. When the Thunder helicopter just left the ground, I finally grabbed the railing and got on the helicopter. Seeing this situation, the three people at Heo base who were already in the air finally felt relieved. It's been several months, but these zombies are still staying here in large numbers. If it weren't for young Master Lei and Hall Master Leng today, the three of them wouldn't be enough to fill these zombies' teeth. But now that they have successfully left, how many days will they come back? I don't know if I will have such luck at that time. Hey, let's figure out the next thing later. Hall Master Leng still wants to pick up the goods from them, and he will definitely make arrangements when he comes back. Thinking of this, the three people at Heo base put away their worries. The pilot concentrated on keeping up with Thunder and Len Ning's helicopter flying ahead of them. What follows is a long flight. After a replenishment mission in City C, the two helicopters successfully arrived in Kongzhen. When they came to Kongzhen, they saw the prosperity of Kongzhen and Thunder base along the way. The three people at Heo base were shocked and couldn't calm down for a long time. What they saw in the video was real. The Thunder base was truly a paradise. The business here is prosperous and the population is large. Speak when you want to, as loud as you want. It's so free here. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 678. Len Ning didn't waste any time. After getting off the helicopter, he took a group of people directly to the 5th branch. After calling Li Feng to come to the office, Len Ning handed over 5,000 first-class space jades and Yang Gang to Li Feng. You take them to dinner first, and make sure to make arrangements for them in the next few days, Len Ning ordered. Yes, Li Feng said immediately. Thank you, Hall Master Leng, let's go first. Yang Gang gave Len Ning a hug before leaving. Len Ning smiled and nodded, indicating that he would spend the next few days well. After the people at Heo base and Li Feng left, Len Ning stood up and walked towards Lei Lei. What do you think about the Heo base? As soon as Len Ning walked to Lei Ting, he was pulled into his arms. Having obtained 50,000 space jade items should be enough for a while, Lei Lei replied. The zombies in Heo Town are too dangerous. Although they have the ability to solve the subsequent problems, they are not the optimal solution. Xinjiang City is the only place where jade is produced in China. With a little more effort, they can always find a new place of origin to replace it. But I'm quite optimistic about Heo base, Len Ning said. It would be a pity to give up the existing technology and workers. Then take it. Lei Lei put his head on Len Ning's shoulder. Win is a bad word, cooperate is more appropriate, Len Ning said with a smile. There is a large wasteland over there at the vegetable base, which is perfect for a jade wool processing factory. If the people at the jade base are not stupid, they should take the initiative to talk to me. So, I have to go to Heo base in a few days. Len Ning twisted and looked at Lei Lei. I'll go with you, Lei Lei said dotingly. A smile appeared on Len Ning's face. It's not just you, I'm afraid I need to bring more good hands. When they left, there were many zombies near the mountain where the helicopter took off. Coupled with the huge noise they made when they left, I am afraid that the place will become a hornet's nest when they return. The special powers cannot be used, and it would be extremely difficult to get out of trouble just by shooting with a few of their guns. It's better to bring more people and clean up the mountain directly. The same goes for the wandering corpses near Haya Base, as well as the time bomb Enusian, which will have to be taken away sooner or later. All the helicopters at AFEI base have been brought back, you can make the decision yourself, Lele said. AFEI base brought back 50 helicopters, plus the 18 that were previously placed in the 5th branch. The total number of helicopters available in the 5th branch is as many as 68. In the entire Thunder base, no one is richer than her now. Okay. If the cooperation is successful, we will not be short of space and jade in the future. Len Ning's eyes let out a gleam of light. Then he continued to discuss some matters with Lele regarding the Haya base. It wasn't until his subordinates brought lunch that Len Ning stopped discussing with Lei Ting. After lunch, after being reminded by Lele, Len Ning finally gave up the idea of continuing to work and followed him back to Lei's house. In the next few days, Len Ning turned on vacation mode again. I really don't do anything anymore, I just accompany Lele everywhere and play everywhere. Kill zombies, find treasures, and accompany Thunder Mother. The days passed quietly, and Li Feng finally came to report that all the goods for Yang Gang and others would be matched tomorrow night. The group of them also decided to set off back to Haya base early the day after tomorrow. The next day, Len Ning made a special trip to meet with Yang Gang and 3 others in the Leng CEO's office. Master Leng, when they entered Len Ning, the 3 of them, led by Yang Gang, bowed to Len Ning and saluted. At this moment, their respect and admiration for Len Ning are completely different from before. In the past 4 days, they visited many places in the Thunder base and Thunder safe zone and were shocked by the prosperity here. The real situation here is better than what they saw on the video. It is simply their most dreamed place to migrate. They came to buy goods this time because the price of arms provided by Leng's was even lower than buying directly from the military department, because Leng's order volume was large and it was the largest agent in the military's arms business. They followed the original plan. The order was all placed to Mr. Leng. In addition, they also used the extra 10,000 space jade given by the leader to buy other goods from the Leng family. They also inquired about some factories built in other branches of the Thunder base, but because the minimum order quantity of goods was too high, there was no point in talking to them. Even after comparing prices, in the end Leng's unit price turned out to be the most cost-effective. No way, who made Leng's scale large enough to cooperate closely with various manufacturers and become their largest agent. Leng's orders are in quantities of hundreds of thousands or millions at a time, and the price is much cheaper than their orders of hundreds or thousands at a time. In the end, Mr. Leng only needed to reduce a little bit on their unit price of hundreds or thousands, and Mr. Leng was able to close the business. At the same time, they, the small retail buyers, also saved money. Hey, there are so many retail customers, so the volume is huge. From these things, they became more and more sure of the huge influence of Hall Master Leng and the Leng family in the Thunder base. Sit down, Len Ning said to the 3 of them with a smile. Thank you, Master Leng. Yang Gang then took the 3 of them to sit down separately. How have you been at the Thunder base these days? Len Ning looked at Yang Gang and asked. Very good. The Thunder base is prosperous, and we are a little reluctant to leave. Yang Gang smiled and looked at each other with his 2 companions. Haha, we can play for a while longer. Just treat it as a vacation, Len Ning smiled heartily. Why don't we want to? But so many people at Haya base are still waiting for us to go back, Yang Gang said with a look of reluctance. We want to leave tomorrow morning. His expression finally became serious. Len Ning nodded, yes. Then I won't keep you. Seeing that Len Ning didn't say anything else, Yang Gang felt anxious. Master Leng, tomorrow. As soon as the words came out of his mouth, Yang Gang felt something was wrong. Hall Master Leng's status in Thunder base is almost equivalent to the second in command here. To her, the business with them and Jade base is not a big deal. She may not be prepared to make this trip in person at all. But if Hall Master Leng and young Master Lei don't go back to Haya base with them, it will definitely be in danger when they go back. Moreover, they have already seen the situation of the Thunder base and Thunder safe zone, and they will definitely give feedback to the leaders after they return. If Hall Master Leng is there at that time, the leader can immediately talk to Hall Master Leng about cooperation, or even let them and Jade base move to City A. What a great place this is. If they can come here, they won't have to be afraid of zombies anymore. Oh, my eldest brother and I will bring some brothers from the 5th branch to go with you tomorrow. Len Ning looked like he just remembered. The three of them, Yuji, looked at each other a few times, with smiles on their faces, looking relieved. On the one hand, I will pick up the goods, and on the other hand, I will help you clean up all the zombies near the base. Len Ning continued. The wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 679. There was excitement in Yang Gang's eyes. Thank you, Hall Master Leng. He quickly stood up and hugged Len Ning. Len Ning waved his hand and motioned Yang Gang to sit down. Yang Gang then sat back down again. I am going in person this time to have a formal talk with you and the Jade base. I am very sincere and want to achieve deeper cooperation with you. Len Ning continued. Yang Gang nodded quickly. It must be the same for us and Jade base. This time when we go back, we must reflect well with the leaders on what we have seen and heard at Thunder base in the past few days. Len Ning smiled and nodded. Okay. Then we will set off on time at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thank you, Master Leng. Yang Gang immediately stood up excitedly again. His two companions also stood up and saluted Len Ning with clasped fists. You're welcome. I'll have someone take you out, Len Ning said and picked up the phone on the table. After giving a few instructions to the other end of the phone, Len Ning hung up the phone. There is still 1 day left. You can ask the guide to take you for a walk, especially the vegetable base, Len Ning said with a smile. Yes. We have made an appointment with Assistant Hu to go to the vegetable base when we leave here. Assistant Hu told them more than once that the vegetable base is one of the biggest highlights of the Thunder base. But they have been busy touring and visiting some factories and have not taken any time at all. Now that the order has been placed, they have nothing else to do and can finally go to the vegetable base to have a look. Len Ning was stunned. Hu Ai-jun then asked. When did you have Assistant Hu? Li Feng was arranging the reception of the purchasing representative. She seemed to have heard the child say that he was also in that team when they were having dinner at home. What a coincidence. Yeah, Yang Gang responded, with doubts in his tone. Hall Master Len knows about Assistant Hu. Assistant Hu is only about the same age as him, and seems to be well regarded in the Leng family. Len Ning smiled. Aren't you curious where the AFEI base is? Hu Ai-jun is from the AFEI base, then he said. Yang Gang was shocked. And he is also the son of Commander Hu of AFEI base, Len Ning continued. Yang Gang's eyes suddenly widened. Zia-jun is not in good health. He comes to us mainly to recuperate his health. Now that he is in good health and is very interested in the Leng family, he came to the Leng family for an internship, Len Ning explained. Yang Gang was shocked. He said that he always felt that Assistant Hu had a unique temperament, and he turned out to be the commander's son. This Thunder base and the Leng group are really crouching tigers, hidden dragons. In a large base like AFEI base, the commander's son actually took the initiative to come to the Leng group for an internship. AFEI base has officially established diplomatic relations with our Thunder base. You can also ask Zia-jun about this situation, Len Ning continued. Well, okay, Yang Gang quickly replied. Knock knock knock. At this time, there was a knock on the door. Come in. Len Ning looked towards the door. It was the secretary who came up to take the people. Then you go ahead. Seeing the secretary, Len Ning said to Yang Gang and others. Okay. See you later, Hall Master Len. Yang Gang cupped his fists at Len Ning. Then he took the people away. After a few people left, Len Ning picked up the phone and called Li Feng. Hello. Li Feng's voice came quickly from the other end of the phone. It's me, Len Ning said. Hall Master, the voice on the other side immediately became respectful. Have the arrangements been made for everyone going to Heo base? Len Ning asked. There are 16 people in total, and the candidates have been decided, Li Feng said immediately. What about the weapon configuration? The military department said it's ready, so I'm going to pick it up right now. Okay, you go pick up the goods now. Then let these 16 brothers wait at Zi's place. I will be there in an hour, Len Ning instructed. Regarding the situation with Yuzhen, she had to make it clear to them before setting off. The 16-member elite team, plus her and Lele, should be enough to eradicate the zombies on that mountain. However, they are already accustomed to using supernatural powers. When they go there, they can only solve the problem with guns. They have to become proficient first. Yes, Li Feng responded immediately. Okay. See you in an hour, Len Ning said and hung up the phone. An hour later, Len Ning drove to the 9th branch. Xie and Li Feng were already waiting outside the venue. Li Feng personally came to open the door for Len Ning. Hall Master, he thanked Len Ning and bowed. Yes, Len Ning responded and walked towards the 16 people who were standing in a very neat line. Hello, Hall Master, someone raised the voice, and the soldiers saluted Len Ning one after another. Hello, brothers. Len Ning was very satisfied to see everyone in such good spirits. Don't talk nonsense. They must have told you about the next mission before. No one spoke. At 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, you will go with me and Mr. Lei to Heo base in Xinjiang City. When the time comes, Mr. Lei and I will go to the front, and the guests from the Jade base will go to the middle. You drive 4 helicopters and go to the end. The soldiers were a little excited. Mr. Lei is going too. Oh my God, they are working with the Hall Master and Mr. Lei on this mission. Thank you. Len Ning suddenly remembered something. It's the Hall Master. Xie immediately took a step forward. How many of our helicopters are idle now? Len Ning asked. He was stunned for a moment and then said, after thinking for a moment, not including these 4, there are still 20, if 6 were not borrowed from various halls, the number would have been even more. They didn't have enough helicopters before, but since they got 50 more helicopters brought back from AFEI base, they now don't have to worry about helicopters. Then I will bring 15 more helicopters later, Len Ning said. Xie looked stunned. Yes, he responded quickly. I was thinking that the Hall Master might really make some big move when he goes to Heo base this time. After receiving an affirmative answer of gratitude, Len Ning looked at everyone again. It takes 8 or 9 hours to fly to Xinjiang City from here. Before arriving at Heo base, we will stop at Y City for lunch. Then we will continue our journey to Heo town. The soldiers were a little surprised. I didn't expect this flight to take so long. After arriving at Heo town, the helicopter landed on a mountain next to the Heo base. According to my guess, there will be a lot of zombies. Len Ning looked solemn. What are you afraid of? Our 5th branch is the nemesis of zombies, a soldier suddenly shouted. That is. Kill him completely. The other soldiers immediately followed suit. They were all pilots from the 9th Wing. Since the establishment of the 9th Wing, they have been assigned to the 9th Wing to learn helicopter piloting. They have already passed the driving skills standard, but they have not yet received the mission. Now I finally have a mission, and I can kill zombies. It's so exciting. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kiji Now. Chapter 680. Len Ning frowned slightly and gestured to calm everyone down. The zombies we have to face this time are different from the ones before. Len Ning looked serious. There was some commotion among the soldiers, but no one spoke loudly this time. Their hall master is usually very close to them, and many of them have gone on missions with the Hall Master. They joked and made people laugh every day, and their Hall Master often mingled with them. But today, the Hall Master is indeed more serious. According to the information I have now, the zombies in Haywtown are different from other places. There are no supernatural zombies there. Everyone was talking about it. Wouldn't it be easier without zombies with special powers? One person asked Len Ning in confusion. The others also looked at Len Ning curiously. It's not that simple. Len Ning looked solemn. There are two types of zombies in Haywtown. One type is as easy to deal with as the ordinary zombies here. The other type of zombie is more difficult to deal with than the supernatural zombies. The difficult zombie is a zombie with a black crystal core. Black. There has never been a zombie with a black crystal core in their city. What is this? This kind of zombie has higher hearing, vision, and intelligence than ordinary zombies, and its movements are more sensitive than ordinary zombies. The most important thing is Len Ning looked at the soldiers. They can affect the use of mental power by people with superpowers, weaken or even block the output of mental power by people with superpowers. For a moment, everyone was shocked. The superpowers are all driven by mental power. If the mental power cannot be output, won't the superpowers be unable to be used? Yes, it's what you think. When you reach Haywtown, your powers will no longer be useful, and only guns will be effective, Len Ning said solemnly. The soldiers whispered to each other and talked a lot. You're not afraid of guns, we are all sharpshooters, said a soldier. Before they came to the 9th branch, they were all the best in the major branches, and most of them were elites in the 1st and 2nd branches. After they joined the army, in addition to practicing their supernatural powers, they also learned the knowledge and skills of the army before the end of the world, and shooting was a very important one. After all, shooting does not require mental energy, and the gun in your hand can save lives at critical moments. This is why each of them is equipped with a large amount of weapons. That's right. Even if the zombies come, we will kill them all, another soldier said. Kill the digger and come out and take a look. What does the black crystal core look like? Some soldiers began to boo. Len Ning stretched out his hand and asked everyone to be quiet again. The black crystal core is as dangerous as the zombies with the black crystal core. According to the information obtained by Haywbase, the black crystal core is very likely to carry the zombie virus unique to Haywtown. Ordinary people may turn into zombies as long as they are exposed to the black crystal core for more than 3 hours. For people with supernatural powers, exposure to the black crystal core will greatly affect the release of mental power, Len Ning continued. Master Lei and I have done tests before. When we hold the black crystal core, the mental power we can release is only less than 1% of the normal amount, which can be said to be minuscule. And because the mental power released is not stable enough, the superpower released has almost no lethality. Everyone's expressions immediately became serious. What kind of supernatural powers do their Hall Master and Mr. Lei have? They have all been affected by the black crystal core to this extent. If things happen to them, the situation will only be worse. In addition, zombies with black crystal cores are very infectious. According to the news from Haywbase, no matter whether they are superpowers or ordinary people, as long as they are bitten by such zombies, they will immediately be infected by the zombie virus, and there is no cure. The attack lasts only 5 minutes at most. As soon as Len Ning said these words, there was an instant silence. So what the Hall Master means is that if you kiss one of those zombies, you will die. If this is the case, then this mission is indeed very dangerous. So this time when we go to Haywbase, we must not underestimate the enemy, Len Ning said seriously. Yes, the soldiers immediately stood at attention. How can I dare to think of relaxing in my heart now? After getting off the helicopter tomorrow, you will use the helicopter as a unit, in groups of 4 people, to deal with the zombies besieging us from 4 directions. After killing the zombies on the top of the mountain, follow Mr. Lei and I along the main road to clear out all the zombies on the entire mountain. A fierce look flashed in Len Ning's eyes. Yes, the soldiers said excitedly. I have almost imagined a shocking battle in my mind. Now, check your equipment. Each person carries at least 10,000 rounds of ammunition and at least 50 pistols equipped with silencers, Len Ning continued. For this mission, she used Leng's previous arms inventory. All orders from Leng's previous customers have been postponed. At the same time, the military arsenal has been working hard in the past few days to produce the arms supplies for Heo base and what they will use this time. Thanks to the arsenal's recent factory expansion and the opening of a new factory, the goods she wanted were finally ready. Yes, the soldiers immediately counted the equipment they brought. Len Ning waited for a while to make sure that all the soldiers had inventoried their equipment before continuing to speak. Thank you, Len Ning said suddenly. Yes, yeah, you responded quickly. You will lead everyone in shooting training later to ensure that they feel up to standard before setting off, Len Ning said in a deep voice. Yes, thanks immediately. Go, Len Ning said. Follow me to the shooting gallery, thanks immediately to the soldiers. What's the point of going to the shooting gallery? Hall Master, why don't you take us to hunt zombies outside the safe zone? Suddenly a soldier said. Immediately, the other soldiers also looked at Len Ning. Yes, Hall Master, wouldn't it be better if we just go out and shoot live targets? Lord, let's go hunt zombies, another soldier followed. With a loud voice of thanks, you little bastards, the Hall Master has arrangements for you, just obey the orders, how can there be so many demands? Thanks to this voice, all the soldiers were frightened. Although each of them did not dare to beg Len Ning anymore, they did not move. He just looked at Len Ning eagerly, hoping that she would change her mind. Why are you lingering? Why don't you leave quickly? Thank you loudly again. The soldiers were obviously afraid of gratitude, so they turned away unwillingly and prepared to leave. Well, forget it. Since everyone has this idea, Len Ning finally spoke up. The soldiers looked happy and quickly turned back to look at Len Ning. The Hall Master is so kind. The Hall Master is so considerate. Rainbow farts kept coming for a while. Looking at Len Ning with gratitude, Hall Master, you don't have to dash. Just as he was about to speak, Len Ning reached out to stop him. It's okay. I don't have anything important to do today anyway. The Wood-type superpower who is reborn in the apocalypse. Author, Kge Now. Chapter 681. Master Lei and I made an appointment to meet at the foot of the mountain in half an hour to hunt zombies outside the safe zone. You have to practice marksmanship anyway, so just go with us, Len Ning said to the soldiers. Long live the Hall Master, someone shouted. The Hall Master is wise and powerful, a group of people began to howl. Looking at Len Ning mingling with the soldiers, a smile appeared on the corner of his lips. Len Ning made a gesture to calm everyone down. Then the 16 people were divided into 4 teams, and then they left with these 4 teams. The group of people arrived at the foot of the mountain and successfully met Lei, who was waiting there. Then Thunder and Len Ning each led 2 teams into the safe zone. Then he left the safe area and headed towards the east side of the city. It wasn't until they were close to the junction of the east and south of the city that the 2 men began to lead the soldiers separately. The 2 of them had greeted the soldiers in advance. This was a shooting practice and powers should not be used unless absolutely necessary. Lei and she led people to play PK respectively, and the winning side shared half of the crystal cores obtained by the other side. So when the battle started, the soldiers all responded seriously and dealt with the zombies in the most efficient way. Len Ning and his soldiers were only active near the southern border of the city at first. After the zombies were cleared away, he led the soldiers into the eastern district of the city. Although the Chengdong district before the end of the world was not as prosperous as the Chengzhou district, it was the busiest among the east, west, south, and north districts. In addition, there are very few people active in Chengdong district, and the number of zombies in Chengdong district is very large. As soon as they entered the east area of the city, Len Ning and his party could clearly feel the surge in the number of zombies. It was definitely not advisable to confront the zombies head-on, so Len Ning arranged for the soldiers to disperse and clean the streets step by step in a guerrilla manner. At the beginning, the soldiers did not cooperate well, and their whereabouts were exposed several times and were hunted down by zombies. Fortunately, the group of people were all good hands and were able to look after each other and solve the trouble without causing any losses. As time progressed and experience accumulated, everyone quickly reached a tacit cooperation. The efficiency is getting higher and higher, and zombies are eliminated faster and faster. At noon, Len Ning led everyone to take a break and have lunch, and then the battle continued in the afternoon. After some training in the morning, the soldiers have mastered the rhythm and strategy, and are getting better at guerrilla fighting. Len Ning led everyone towards the east area of the city, and it was not until 4 o'clock in the afternoon that he began to lead the soldiers back along another road. At 6 o'clock, the two teams met at the place where they separated before. "We must win this time, I only have half the bullet left," a soldier said to another soldier from another team. "TCH, you have half left, and I only have 1/3 left." "We will definitely win," another soldier said unconvinced. "Only a quarter of our team's King XX is left. You can only play a little faster than me, but you can't beat the rest of our team," a soldier said again. "Wang XX is very powerful, but he can't compare to our team's Qian XX." Len Ning and Lei Lei had just met to talk, and the soldiers they led started discussing. Anyway, everyone is satisfied with today's results, and everyone thinks that their team will be the winner. We'll find out who wins and who loses. "Let's go," Len Ning said in a higher tone. "Humph. Listen to the hall master. You will know when you get back. Our team definitely killed more zombies." "Humph. It's best to go back and check. Then we'll see if you still insist on admitting defeat or not." Then, everyone got in the car and headed towards the Thunder base. Len Ning sat in the passenger seat, looking at Lei Lei's perfect profile, feeling particularly good. "I originally prepared enough ammunition, but it was almost used up in one day. I'm afraid I'll have to work overtime at the arsenal tonight. It feels great to take the brothers out to kill zombies. It's lively and efficient. If this happens every day, sooner or later the zombies in Cydia will be hunted down by them." "Don't worry, it's in stock," Lei Lei said. Len Ning was stunned. "I said hello to them after I came back from Hea base. Guns and bullets aimed at the Black Crystal Core zombies have been being produced in the past few days. For this reason, a special production line was opened at the arsenal to produce and ship goods 24 hours a day." Len Ning's face lit up with joy. "That puts me at ease. I really look forward to cooperating with Heojhan. When we have enough weapons and ammunition, we will go to Heojhan to clean up. We will be able to keep most of the jade mines in Xinjiang City in our pockets. Don't worry, this day won't take long." Lei Lei raised the corner of his mouth slightly. The convoy quickly returned to Thunder's base, and then Thunder personally took the convoy to the crematorium. Then everyone was asked to hand over their respective results, zombie corpses. After that, everyone was asked to return to camp, saying that the results would be announced the next day. The soldiers didn't want to leave, they just wanted to wait for the results to come out immediately, but they left after Len Ning came out to speak. The soldiers were waiting at the airport early the next morning. As soon as Len Ning and Lei Lei's cars arrived, the soldiers curiously asked about the battle last night. The total number of zombies killed by the two teams was really huge, and the final result was that the Thunder team won. The people from the Thunder team were naturally elated, and they did not forget to make some proud remarks to ridicule the people from the Len Ning team. The people in the Len Ning team looked dissatisfied and angry. "Don't be proud if you win. You only killed 82 more zombies than us, so it can only be considered a narrow victory, Len Ning said in a louder voice. As soon as these words came out, the people in Team Len Ning instantly became more confident. There are only more than 80 zombies, and each of them kills a few, which is enough. I just wish I had relaxed a little, otherwise, Don't be discouraged if you lose. We will go to Haya base today and we can compete again. Okay. We must find the place back, said a soldier from the Len Ning team. That's right. We will definitely win this time, another soldier from Len Ning's team followed. It's not certain who will win. Be careful of losing twice in a row, said a soldier from the Thunder team. That's right. You've already lost once, haven't you? The scene suddenly became a little noisy. When several people from Haya base saw this situation, they smiled unconsciously. These soldiers at Thunder base are really motivated, and they make people feel friendly when they look at them. Len Ning made a gesture to silence everyone. Very good. I feel relieved when I see that none of you are convinced, then he said with a smile. Today we will follow yesterday's grouping. The bet is half of the crystal nuclei our team divided yesterday. If Mr. Lay's team wins, our team will give all the remaining half of the crystal cores to Mr. Lay's team. The Thunder team cheered immediately. He clamored to make everyone in Len Ning's team lose completely. The members of Team Len Ning looked unconvinced and said they wanted to regain their position. But if our team wins, the crystal core will be our own.